First things first, yes, I'm wearing a dressing gown. It's pretty cold here in the UK, it's like 2 degrees, so this is keeping me warm along with my heating. Aside from that, Leap had another playtest. As of me recording this, it was yesterday, Wednesday, the 6th of April, and it was for their new PvE mode. So their previous test a few weeks ago, or a month ago now, was PvP. This is PvE. What they gave us to play was called Special Operations mode. Now, as they've put it, I've got their Discord open here, they said that Special Operations team up with your friends or connect with players online and face off against intensive power waves of UEDC mercenaries that will try to eliminate you. So think round or wave-based game mode such as Halo's Firefight, Call of Duty's Zombies, or Gears of War's Horde mode. There's a bunch of different enemies that we haven't seen before, and they've got different abilities, different levels of health, they hold different weapons, things like that. Now the difference with Leap's Horde, round wave-based mode, is that you have to do side tasks in this. There's little missions that go on as the timer progresses, like, go and secure this artifact, go and hold B for 10 seconds over here, hold this, this land point, kill these enemies in this direction, loads of different things you have to do in order to get a victory. If you fail to do those things, the game is actually over. They're not fully side tasks, they're actually kind of the main task. So yeah, if you die, all the players in your party die, it's game over. If you fail the objectives as well, it's also game over. They did suggest that you play in bronze difficulty, which is essentially easy. Then they have silver, which is medium, and gold, which is hard. Me and my friends played on silver to begin with. We got to the final wave, and then we failed the objective because it only gave us like 10 seconds to get from objective E to objective F or something, and we just couldn't do it in time. Like, you couldn't physically traverse the map in time to get to that objective. We even played on bronze and gold. We played all difficulties, and it was basically impossible to complete unless you just avoided the enemies altogether and decided to go 100% for the objectives. So I think they might have to tweak the time that it gives you to get to each point, because the final one seems very, very thin. Aside from that, it was really fun. I played, I think, 4 matches in total. The playtest was only going on for 2 hours, and each game was roughly 20 to 25 minutes, so quite long matches as well. Along with this new mode, they have a list of other things they added in, which was obviously the new mode, more cosmetics, updated player progression, context pings, level lighting, spawn locations, optimizations, areas of improved map art, audio, collision on walls, and many bug fixes. Now, as I said, it was pretty fun, I enjoyed it. However, I think that the novelty would kind of wear out after a while. If there's any developers watching, first of all, yes, I look very scruffy in my dressing gown. But a little bit of advice maybe would be that don't make your game more difficult simply by boosting up the enemy's health and damage points each round. I noticed that the enemies don't get more advanced, they don't get smarter. You're just simply buffing their health and making them more of a, more of a bullet sponge kind of thing, right? The enemies that spawn in round 1, they die after like 4 shots hitting their head. The enemies that spawn in round 7, 8 take like 30 bullets, but they look the same in cosmetic and things. So yeah, if the enemies could actually be a bit smarter, I think that would be good. Just the way that they move and things, I think obviously that requires you to work on the bots a bit more. They do very much feel like bots, walking around like step, 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 move, step, step, step. They're very obviously bots, and I think with time hopefully they would just improve that. Another one would be where they spawn. So I've noticed a couple of times they spawned on the drop pods. That's great, agree with that. The drop pods is great, you can see where they're coming from. If they were to come down in some kind of ship or something, cool, I agree with that as well. But there's a few occasions where enemies just seem to spawn behind me. I was an occasion where I was dead and my teammate was there, so I was spectating him, and I could literally see in third person an enemy spawn behind my teammate, and the enemy had a sword and just slashed my teammate. So yeah, enemy spawn points might need to be adjusted. A few things I liked, obviously the game itself I enjoy, the game mode was fun, we enjoyed playing it. And the mechanics in the game, so the little boosting around, cool, the weapons feel nice. I really like the hit marker sound for when you get the damage numbers, the little din 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 din. It goes up in pitch as you get more shots on target. I like that, it's cool, it feels nice. And then the grapple hook is also really nice. I just wish it felt a bit faster, because the initial grappling, like the start of it, the first 1 second, feels really fast. You've got these speed lines on your screen, and you feel like you're going fast, and then all of a sudden it seems to slow down, or it feels like it slows down the longer you hold the grapple, which is weird. I would think it would work the other way, right? It starts slow, but as you keep going, it's going to propel you faster and faster, and you're going to get, higher velocity. So maybe the grapple needs a little bit of a tweak. But overall, the movement feels really nice. I feel like Spider-Man when playing this game, which is cool. It's like playing Spider-Man PS4, but in first person, and you've got a gun in your hand, along with grenades and things like that. Final bit of feedback. I know it's been mentioned before I asked in the Discord. Controller support is lacking. I managed to play on controller. In fact, all the gameplay you're watching is on controller. And it felt decent, but I had to do my custom keybinds, custom mapping through Steam's big picture mode controller mapping for games that don't support controller. So half of the buttons didn't work, which is why I hardly ever change into the vehicle, and why I hardly ever throw grenades, because I simply can't access those without reaching over to my keyboard. A few instances I did do it. I put my controller down and pressed my keyboard. But yeah, some actual gamepad support for the next playtest would be greatly appreciated. I know they said it's not high on their priority. However, I would assume that your engine has some kind of default controller set support. I use Unity for my game, and it does. Setting up controller was done in basically less than 2 days. So hopefully you guys can get some controller support as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just some feedback. Overall, I like the game. I think it's going to go in the right direction if they listen to the feedback, and hopefully it'll be very fun to play. I can't wait for it to come out and play it fully, because I need a new game to play, because Splitgate and Halo are getting a little bit repetitive. Halo has no content, and yeah, I need some new stuff to play. So looking forward to the next test. I'll be sure to do more content when that is when that goes live as well. Alright, thanks for watching, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.